another video in regards to housing. So as I stated, if you are getting PCS orders and it includes LQA, which is living quarter allowance or post allowance, it is a lot. It's a process that you have to go through. So you're working with Army housing, but then you also working with HR at the same time. So in my last channel, I said homes.mil is a site that you can go on, and that way you can search. There are some Facebook groups that you can look. You can get your own personal realtor and then just give that housing listing to Army Housing, but they'll still send an inspector out to check the home. Just be mindful, if you do find your own personal realtor, you may have to pay like a little realtor fee out of your own pocket. But when you go on homes.mil, the housing already have pretty much like a collaboration with the landlords anyway. So you go out, you view the house, you let housing know which house you want to go with, and from there they set up everything. They set up the lease agreement with the landlord signs, you sign, then they'll set up an inspector to come out to go through and look at any damages or anything, so it won't fall back on you in that area, in that issue. When it comes to the living quarters and your utilities, there's something called UTAB on post. I don't know exact utilities, something allowance, something to help you with your utilities. So if it's water, electricity, gas, oil, etc. So like for me, I'm gonna use me for an example. The house that I found, it's of course electrical, water, and gas. So you have to provide the meter numbers to utilities so they'll know what your estimate of your utilities to be, because that falls under your living quarters allowance. So then it kind of collaborates together. So UTAB and then an HR person who deal with your LQA will collaborate together. Trust and believe. HR will call you, be like, hey, have you found the house yet? What's going on? Because they're trying to make sure that they get their ducks in a row as well. That's if you are eligible for LQA. For those who are civilian DOD coming over here, or overseas. So that's another piece. It is different from stateside when it comes to your CAD and stuff. You do have access to pretty much everything as soldiers do, including PX, commissary, etc. Right now, it's still the lockdown. We've been extended to the 31st of January, so it's limited to a lot of stuff being closed. Another thing is, so furniture. So I found out some days ago that the estimated time for your household goods is literally 60 to 72 days. I know, it seems like a long time. But I did get an email today that my stuff is soon to be porting, but it takes a while to go through customs and then delivery and all that good stuff. With that being said, Army does give you loaner furniture, and then you can also get permanent stuff to keep. So loaner furniture can be a couch, love seat, which is very hideous. I mean, it looked depressing. Just keeping it real. But you can do coffee table, end tables, night tables. They give you a bed. It depends on how many dependents or how many in your household. Each person will get a bed, or each room can get a bed. So you get the request. The loaner furniture is good for 60 days. You also can do a loaner for a dining room table with chairs as well. Now, the items that you can request to keep until you move out of that property is you can request for a American refrigerator, which is, of course, larger than the Germans, a washer and dryer, and there are two kinds. You can either, depends where you move, you may have to get a European washer and dryer. Just depends where you move to, or you can get an American one with the holes and all that good stuff for the dryer. American dryers, the washer and dryers are much better, but it depends where you choose to move to. Wardrobes. So houses and apartments in Germany do not have closets like we're used to stateside. So they're pretty expensive when you look on certain sites. It just depends how classy you want to be and stuff like that. But Army will provide you with wardrobes. So it depends on how many people in your household. So they'll ask you how many you're accounting for, and they'll tell you how many you can get. Those are the things you can keep until you actually move out. Doing this video a little prior, I move in like, 6 days. So I did do some loaner furniture. Give you guys a quick snip. Next week when I move in of the loaner furniture. I did not request for the couches, so I'm sure on somebody's YouTube you might see the hideous, depressing couches. But I'll definitely do that. I'm excited for the house that I chose. I love it. That's another thing too. It depends on how long your assignment is, how long you're gonna be over here. Get something you're going to love and like. Your family can grow. Anything can change, and you don't want to be like, oh, I got not enough space, need more space, and then you're stuck somewhere. So get what you need. So yes, I went with a nice, spacious um, place. Plus, here, if you want, depends on if you have a business on the outside, you can apply for home-based business here. So for me, I'm a braider, as I mentioned to you guys in a couple of my channels before. So with the house, the landlord gave me permission that I can do hair out of there. Now I just have to go through a process with ACS to do that. So it's good to have a spacious home. So in about 6 days, yes, because Army housing will be delivered on the same day I move in. So I definitely come back and give you guys a quick snip of the loaner furniture and all that good stuff. So have a good one.